Hello, hello. You get some funny tune in your head and you can't get rid of it. Let's see. Invite a guest. Instructions. No, that's not right. Hmm. Well, I see that one person is in the house. I'm trying to put up the invitation. Broadcast info. Trying to invite a guest. Guests. Copy. Okay. Adventures of David and Aaron. Is this David or Aaron? Oh, there it is, David. David, good on you, buddy. How are you today? Yeah. I'm going to try to put this in the chat. Okay, that's not it. I promise I am trying to put in a link for everyone to come up if they want to, but I don't seem to know how to do that. Where did the chat go? I don't know if that's showing up live or not. Does anybody wants to come up? Doing well. Sunny and 88 degrees. That's summer weather for here. It's always warm where you are. Always. I guess if you get used to it, it's just perfectly normal. That climate would fry me. I used to live in Pensacola, Florida. Man, I thought for a couple of years there I was going to die. I'm at work today. Okay, good. Well, you know what, David? I'm just glad you have a job, pal. Man, too many people don't. Too many people don't. And the economy is uncertain. It's uh, it's an uncertain time that we live in. You know, not just with the health, but the economy. I think once they get a handle a little bit on the virus, I think it will start to turn the economy around a little bit. There, until we get this virus under control, I don't see any way to possibly move on and get to some level of normalcy. The summers can be brutal. Yes, I imagine. Uh, let's see. Were you the ones that I watched a video earlier in the year um, of an ice cream shop? Um, I can't remember which channel that was on. Um, there are 100% correct. I'm very blessed to have a yes. I'm thankful. They just issued a travel advisory for anyone visiting California. They have to quarantine for 14 days. Is that like if I would come to California, I have to wait 2 weeks before I can mix and mingle? Or is that for people that are returning from California? Do tell. I mean, yeah, I don't know the specifics on that. I know they're getting to that here too. They're starting to crack back down. They want to shut down the gyms and the large churches, our churches. We're just trying to get things restarted. Um, in fact, our full population of our church is still not able to attend. Mommy's trying to get everything open back up before the new year, and I hope she can. I think I'm going to make a Marco Polo real quick. Let people know that I'm here. Okay, Cusies. Our friends Bob and Sarah from Syracuse. Very good to have you. Anyone who comes to visit California has to quarantine. Okay. Oh wow. So I could come there on like November 20th and have to hunker down until like December 4th or 3rd before I could go visiting. They've already shut down our churches, gyms, indoor dining, and theaters. Yeah. Uh, man, there's just nobody that is untouched. In one way or another, we're all suffering. I am very thankful that people still have jobs. My wife, she's the administrator of the church, and the church has really, really taken a hit financially because we've only been able to have a couple hundred people back, and there just isn't the amount of people coming into the church, during this quarantine period. And she was trying to have everything open by the first of the year, but alas, that's not going to happen. It's open partially, but there's only a couple hundred that can come right now. And when our when we're full, and we've had to turn people away every service because we've got about 15 times that amount in our congregation. But it's one of those things. I'm trying this all on my phone. Same here in New York, says Sarah. Adventures of David. Yeah. Uh, wow. Okay, we know so many people that are starting to decorate early for Christmas this year. This year, seeing a lot of trees go up around our city. Yes, yes, David. Same here. Um, Everybody just, that song, "We Need a Little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols at the spinet." Remember that song? We need a little Christmas now. And I think Christmas always, I guess it brings out the best and the worst in people. But I'm wanting to see what you think, all of you, about cancel culture. And I began studying this about a year, maybe year or two ago. Cancel culture. Um, I've studied a little bit about it, but I don't know what it means to you. And if any of you have um, studied about such a topic, cancel culture. Um, everyone something. Everyone wants something with this to make them happy. Some positive vibes. David, you're exactly right. That's one of the reasons I do my weekday videos, because it's only 5 minutes, and most people kill that just going to the bathroom sometimes. I never put up our tree before Thanksgiving, but this year we may. We just need a little holiday cheer. Sarah, couldn't agree more, love. I could not agree more. A lot of people, a lot of people are doing that. I say if it brings happiness to your heart, it does not matter what time of year it is. We had some friends that had a beautiful little pine tree out in their front yard on Rabel Avenue when I was growing up, and they had a tree decorated from every season. Like at Halloween, they would put bats and ghosts and things like that, hang them all over the tree, and then put a spotlight aiming up at it, make it look kind of like frightening, and put like a spider web type of thing on the front of their house. And then as you go by at Thanksgiving, they'd have, of course, the horn of plenty and bountiful things like that, and turkeys and the other. And Christmas, of course, everybody decorated for Christmas. Got to Valentine's Day. They decorated that same little tree different all the time. It was really, really fun to watch. And I always look forward to going south on Rabel Avenue. So nice. I'm doing this all on my phone, folks. I'm hoping that you that you can hear me. I don't know if I can hear you or not, and I'm not sure. I don't know how to put this. Hmm, okay. I still can't tell who else here. I know Sarah is, and I know David is. Um, Sarah is putting up their Christmas tree possibly this week or next. Isn't Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving is a week from Thursday. Wow, we've already there. Um, well, Sarah, I mean, if you do, it's only a week early, so you can do it this weekend. And there's my friend, my buddy from Baton Rouge, well, near Baton Rouge. And that's TJ sailing away with TMK, saying hi to everybody. Everybody knows TJ. Everybody loves TJ. I told you in my private polo that I'm praying for you, buddy. Hope that, when you're talking about all the ACL and all, I was like, oh my gosh. It reminded me of the beginning of the old Bionic Man. We can rebuild him. We can make him better. When he's talking about all the things they had to redo to rebuild your knee. TJ, have you ever heard of a thing called cancel culture? Cancel culture. Not just TJ, anybody. It's kind of, from everything I've read and gathered, it is more or less a shaming for directed at someone else for their difference of opinion, and shaming them to the point of you just cancel out their opinion and you negate them as a person, whether you mean to or not. That's the way it comes off. What's up, Papa Mozo, aka Vlogfather? TJ, if I were any better, I'd be two people, which I guess I could be. I guess I could be that now if I were two people that weighed 130. Could. Sailing away. Sadly, yes, I do know a good bit about cancel culture. TJ, a couple of years ago, I had just started to hear the term floating around, and I thought, well, what is cancel culture? And I don't operate that way. I have many people that disagree with me, and I disagree with them on fundamental issues. However, uh, I don't just negate somebody and say, oh, well, you're stupid and you're no good and all this. David says, I will probably start to do outside Christmas lights since the weather's like 82, 88 degrees. No kidding. No kidding, David. I can't imagine putting Christmas lights up in the heat. But hey, you're used to it. I know you. TJ says, I work in government. It happens a lot working in my field. Oh, I, from what I'm seeing, TJ, I'm going strictly because I've been isolated, completely isolated for a year. Um, I I've had to do medical stuff all over the country. I've had to go to New York. I've had to go to Oklahoma. I had to go to North Carolina. I had to go to Wisconsin. Of course, I had to go downtown here to the city. I had to go to Florida. I did have a few days in Panama. I mean, not Panama City, Gulf Shores, Alabama, which was wonderful. Just being on the 16th floor and hearing the ocean and smelling the ocean. Oh boy, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. Um, if you don't want to talk about it, or if you're in a position where you can't talk about it right now, TJ, that's okay. But is there anything since you're probably dealing with me on your earphones, you want to type in anything that you know or can share about? Uh, the thing that really bothered me. Um, I've people have called me friend before, and I'm like, Dewey's here. Good afternoon, Papa. Well, good afternoon, my friend. Um, Dewey. We're talking about cancel culture. Cancel culture. Um, I was just asking TJ. He said he's experienced a lot. He's in government work, and he said that he's experienced a lot because he works in government. I'm just trying to get specifics from people of what is their idea of cancel culture. Um, do you feel like um, I kind of feel like it's a negative thing. Um, I don't feel like it's negative to have differing opinions. I think it's negative to negate someone's opinion and make them feel like a second class citizen, no matter what their point of view. We've had Satanists come into our church service, okay? And we don't kick them out. We've had them scream out and carry on and act the fool, and we don't we don't ask them to leave. We get the deacons to minister to them in a positive way. And we actually have a lady that is a self-proclaimed witch, and she's been coming for 15 years now. Um, who knows? I can't make that call, but I told her, if you're going to cause division, you can't stay. That's not acceptable. You love people for who they are, just like we love you for who you are. Not that I love Satanism, but I do love the people who are Satanists. I've always felt like it's wise to hate the sin and love the sinner. I've also felt like I'm unqualified to judge, and so are you. We're just not. Rayleigh Creative Travel, hey, now here's another minister. He ministers in his congregation, and that is none other than Blaine Rayleigh of Rayleigh Creative Travel. Everybody knows Blaine. I've never heard anybody say anything bad to or about this man. I'm sure he has his share of critics. We all do, but you're not getting any criticism from me. Nothing but praise for my brother and for the God whom he serves. Sailing Way says, "Hey Blaine, uh, Adventures of David and Aaron." Saying hi to Blaine. Blaine, we're talking about cancel culture. Has anyone experienced that? Does anyone know about that? What do you know about it? There's no wrong answer here. I'm trying to gather information. Um, and that's the whole point of the conversation is I don't want anybody to feel like I'm canceling their opinion or shaming them or anything like that. What have you experienced? I want to relate a little story with you and see and get your take on this. I had a friend, excuse me, a Facebook friend, but it's a lady that I've known for a very long time, over 40 years, and lots of fond memories back in high school. And she was always nice to me. We were always friendly and friends in high school. I know that means something different as we grow older, but I put a statement on the other day about I hope. I think on my Facebook I said something like, "I hope." Uh, I'm sorry if your candidate lost, and I congratulate you if your candidate won. I didn't say anything about who I voted for. That's exactly what I said. I'm sorry if your candidate lost. I'm sad for you. And the reason I said that is because I wanted people to know I can mourn with those who mourn, and I can rejoice with them who rejoice. And I felt like it was important to include everyone. Um, I didn't think Republicans should downgrade or denigrate, rather, Democrats. And likewise, I didn't feel like Democrats should gloat. So I didn't take a side deliberately. because I wanted people to feel included, because our nation divided pretty much in half. You got 70 something million that voted for President Trump and just a few more that voted for President elect Biden. And I thought, man, you can't isolate half the country. Um, I don't know what is happening. I don't know. Can everybody still hear me okay? Because I'm not getting, if I get disconnected, I'll come back on here. I really, really want to know what you have to say, and no comments are scanning. So, and something wrong. Okay, I've lost. We're going to try this again. Okay, are we still in business? I think so. Now you just disappeared. Hey, it's a magic act, and I'm back that quick. Doesn't okay, let me go back up here and find out where I went. I'm sorry, folks. I'm on my phone, and it's my smartphone is much smarter than my mashed potato brain. Hey, Q's talking to Q's Cruisers. Blaine is saying hi. Blaine says it doesn't really matter who is in the White House. I serve Jesus and Him alone. Amen to that, my brother. The president is just someone who occupies the building. I could not agree more, Blaine. And I guess I have more questions regarding the Christian community, because you and I, Blaine, we both work at churches. We're active in the ministry of our congregations, and I'm glad I am. I'm glad you are. And I expect more from Christians because they claim to be like Christ or Christian. Um, and I hate to see that happen, um, especially if they get ugly spirited about it. And that's what really bothers me is I think this cancel culture thing. Welcome, us and more. We're talking about cancel culture. This is not just about politics. It includes politics because it's still fresh in people's minds. There's so much hatred and bitterness, and that's nothing new. Solomon recognized there's nothing new under the sun, so it's an old story. But what I don't like seeing is people cancel out other people and make them feel like less of a human being or a second-class citizen because there's a difference of opinions. Um, yes, Dewey, I'm back again, Lord. Here I am right back again, pleading for mercy, needing more than a friend. It was only yesterday. Once again, but today is another day, and I'm back again. It's an old song a friend of mine wrote. So glad to have us and more. That's Heather and Dwight Watkins. They're from Cape Coral, Florida. Let me get this comment. Come on. Why is this thing doing this? Trying to highlight. Okay, Q says lots of hatred, bitterness, and jealousy. It's sad. It is. It is sad. Sarah, you know what bothers me? It's not the personal attacks, it's the spirit behind it. Because if there were ever a time when we needed to unite as a nation and really be United States, it is now. Um, and I see people depriving themselves of friendships. I discussed a lady who canceled me out the other day, said, uh, You're a hateful person. I don't want to know you. I wish we'd never met. This was over 40 years ago, and we've been friends since. And she assumed incorrectly that I had voted a certain way. But see, I'm a white man in a black world. So I see both sides of the coin. I could vote Democrat and feel good. I could vote Republican and feel good. There were some fundamental things about the candidate that I didn't like, but that was a personal thing. If I felt like it was good for the country, That's how I would vote. However, she didn't see it that way, and I didn't. I was not expressing my opinion. I just said, if the candidate that you voted for did not win, I'm sorry for you. If the candidate you voted for did win, I'm happy for you. That just comes from the scripture. And Brian, you can look that up if you want. I think it's Romans. Rejoice with them who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. Heather says, I think people need to grow up about a lot of things. Life is way too. Oh, I said that to a friend on the phone today, Heather. Life is just too short. God is a good God, and He wants us all to do good in His image. There's my hang up right there. In His image, we're supposed to be like Christ. The only people I saw Christ ever getting into it with were the religious people of His day. And I see so much of it coming out in our American political system. And like if you're a Christian, then you're closed-minded, or you got to be a Republican. If you're going to be a Christian, you got to be a Republican, and that's just not true. Or if you're a Democrat, you're a baby killer. Well, that's certainly not true. I'm around Democrats all the time. I minister at a 4,000 member black church, so plenty of Democrats around. Um, but I don't know one of them that's killed a baby, and I certainly haven't, and I don't support that. But I'm just saying, why the cancel culture? Why trying to make someone look bad? I'm going to put this on my daily video. Oh, I got to turn this beard down. It's going on my nose. I'm going to put this on my daily video about you can't make yourself look good by trying to make others look bad. If people have to do that, then they don't really have anything worth having. Does that make sense? Um, I want to go back to this one because Sarah touched on something that's very true, and I've said it for many years. I used to mentor young boys that were, if they didn't have a dad, which in a black church, 72% of the population, there's no male in the home. And I felt the need to start a mentoring program. And this was before I had children of my own. And I thought, well, I'll help some of these young boys out. And my wife was supportive at the time. We did not have children. So um, I decided to take some of these boys on, and uh, we did a lot of good with that program. And I thought, man, there has to be a better way than hating. I saw a lot of young men with no fatherly example that were perfectly content and even good at shaming other people who didn't feel their way. And I always taught them, I said, you're never going to get anywhere in life if you have to make somebody else look bad in order to make you feel good. If you don't feel good on your own, then you're not going to by making someone look bad. And if you do try to make somebody look bad, I think you're just going to end up looking bad yourself. No? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. This is open discussion. Well, it's supposed to be, but I can't figure out how to put this link up here so anybody can. Um, let me see. Let's see if I can do this. No. I put this on private chat. I don't. I think I'm coming. Okay. Uh, hope you have me. Sorry, I was trying to put this link on here. This is difficult from a phone. Tyler Show. Hey, happy Monday, everyone. Tyler is here. This is a very bright young man with a very bright future. Hughes Cruiser saying hi to Tyler. Everybody knows Tyler. Everybody loves Tyler. Um, Heather, I don't have any idea how to get this link on there. Every time I try to copy and paste something, it kicks me off. So I'm going to leave it at this, I guess. But please, everyone, please comment because that's the purpose of this Monday Munch is to chew up a little conversation and be constructive instead of destructive. Tyler saying hi to everybody. Everybody's saying hi to Tyler. Tyler has the Tyler Show. Us and more. Cape Coral, Florida. Sailing away with Team K. That's Baton Rouge, New Orleans area. Yeah, we already said that one. Q's Cruisers. That's Sarah and Bob out of Syracuse, New York. Dewey Ski. He's from our neck of the woods. Kind of. He's in Peoria, Illinois. I'm in the far northern burbs, right on the Wisconsin line. Anybody else that I missed? Rayleigh Creatives here, of course. Blaine. Blaine just celebrated an anniversary. Congratulations on 13 wonderful years with the beautiful Lady Mallory. Adventures David and Aaron. David was here earlier. He was at work though, so he may not be able to stay on here long. But anyone is welcome. Just talking about cancel culture. What do you think it means? Do you exercise that? Some people feel like it's my right, and to a degree they're right. I guess I worry because I see so many people that claim to be Christian that spit out. Oh, Dewey, why did I say? I'm sorry, I said Peoria. You're in the Champaign Urbana area. Okay, I thought it was Peoria. That's what that'll teach you to trust me. If you go to invite, you hit copy and then X paste into the comments. Okay. Let me try this. Invite, or no, I have to go to guests. Okay, guests, invite a guest, copy the clipboard. Okay, now, how do I put a comment in here? Comments. Heather, why won't this let me type in my own phone? Well, fiddle. Post a comment. Oh, okay, let's try this. Okay, did it come up, Heather? God. Us and more saying hi to Dewey, to Blaine, to TJ, to Sarah and Bob. I had Sarah and Bob on Friday Featured Friend last week and had such a good time talking to those folks. They're fine people, fine people. Oh, okay, so yes. Okay, now where? Hmm. Oh, Heather layout. There we go. Let's do this one. Okay. So if somebody wants to come up, I think I've got a good day. Us and more says Dewey. Dewey is such a friendly, happy gentleman. And proof that there is life after 50. Absolutely. These are our friends, Bill and Lucy Musselman. They're from Jersey. Very good to have you, friends. Thank you. We're talking about cancel culture. What is it? Have you ever been canceled? Has your opinion ever been canceled? Or have you been publicly shamed for your opinions or beliefs? If you want to, and if you're able to, I would love to hear what you have to say. Hey, us and more. Oh, here's the number one. Oh, what's this mean? Oh, there we go, Heather. Let's see. Oh, no, add to stream. Okay. Okay, are you there, Heather?
I'm here.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Man, this is a whole different ball game using the phone, huh?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. It's a bit
Yeah,
different.
I am too, but I may as well sat on it because I'm looking all kinds of things up. Dewey says, even after 60, Dewey, you're an inspiration to us all. We love you, Dewey. Everyone's saying hi to MGM Family Travel. They're out of New Jersey. That's Bill and Lucy Musselman. I think they've got a. I may be wrong. I was thinking. I know Heather and Dwight have a group cruise planned. I believe it's in October of 22. Is that right?
Oh, for our group cruise, yeah.
hmm And then I think.
But go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, no. Go ahead.
No, no, I was saying, but we were talking about other. I mean, you wanted to talk about other things. We don't have to do a promo or anything.
Oh no, that's a joy. That's a joy for me to be able to do that because I love. Oh, hang on. There's. I think there's another. Oh, looky here. We've got.
Oh, sorry, dropped y'all.
Okay, now I think we've got. Oh, let me get rid of this comment so I can see who this is. Uh, oh God, I've got glasses, but I don't have my mic on. Oh, is this Richard?
It is Richard.
Very good to
Yeah.
have you, my
Sorry, I
friend.
got a puff.
That's okay. Puff a puff for me. Dream a little dream of me. What's the weather like in Tampa? Right, Tampa.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's
Are
the
you
weather
in
like?
Tampa? I'm about 2 hours south of you.
yeah. Well, it's sunny here.
It's
We
the
got a lot of
Sunshine
clouds
State,
here.
right?
Well, we got a lot of clouds. We've had a lot of clouds since this morning.
It's sunny.
Have you all been monitoring this latest nightmare? It has
Yep.
turned into a Category 5. It is
Yep.
it's going to muck that place up. They got deuced a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know how much can stand if a 5 makes landfall. I've seen. I remember when Andrew back in 90. When was Andrew, Richard? 92 or 90?
I
The
think it
one
was
that
in. No, I think it's in '92. I'm not sure. You
I
can't.
think you're right. Boy, it screwed up Florida and Homestead. Was it
Yeah,
Homestead?
it wiped out Homestead.
Yes,
Just
yes.
flattened it.
Oh my God, that was awful. Went all the way across that bottom part of Florida. Probably
Yeah.
went probably
We.
went through right where Heather and Dwight live now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
'cause-
We stayed here during Irma.
oh, you did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No.
Put the Gorda got hit because you could still see if you go down and Heather and Dwight probably been up 75. You could still see areas in Punta Gorda where the trees just got flat.
Yeah. Well, because Punta Gorda is, I mean, that's what it is. It's all trees, and I mean, it's getting there. But I mean, even here in Cape, we had right down our main road. I mean, it was just like all the trees in the center just wiped out, all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
John,
and
welcome in, John. J&N Travels out of. Hang on, let me get this thing working right. J&N Travel. That's John of John and Nancy. J&N Travels. They're based out of New Hampshire, and we're glad to have you here. We're talking about cancel culture, John. We ask people, have you been canceled before? Have you had your opinion negated or even publicly shamed to the point where you felt bad about it and you felt like you were a second class citizen? Not because you were, but because people wanted you to feel that. Because I read about cancel culture, it said it's not about people wanting to hear your voice; it's about people wanting to hear their voice come out of your mouth. Um, that's what some writer wrote, and I was reading about it. Um, and I just wondered what everyone's experience, if anybody had any experience cancel culture. TJ, a minute ago, TJ said he did. Said on his, I think it was on his job, and said, he's felt canceled before, and he said it's not just a feeling; that's really the way it was, because there were people on his job that either disagreed with him or didn't like what he said. I don't know. Your experiences, Rich, Heather, either one of you.
um, I mean, yes, but it's. I don't think it's just politics or color though. I think some of it has to do with your background. It has to do with
Agree.
um your beliefs. It has. I mean, there's a lot when it comes to it. So I mean, I think at one point or another, we've all experienced it, whether we've noticed it or not.
Yeah, yeah,
I
Papa.
agree.
I lost my job.
Oh my.
You know, it was that bad. We got a new manager in there. I tried to be supporter, but no matter what I did, she forced her opinion on me, and I didn't agree with it. And I tried to be sociable about it, but eventually she just decided I didn't belong there anymore after working there for 10 years, long before she did.
Oh my.
And she fired me. So it is what it is. I worked almost 50, well, let's see. It was like 45 years, never got fired on the job. So it was like, that was my first time. But you know what? I was just a couple of years short of retiring. So I'm like, I don't really care anymore. I
Yeah.
just said, you know what? I'm too close to retirement. We packed up our stuff. We came down here, started looking for a home to rent down in this area. We found one. We rented. We moved down to Florida, and we've been here since. And I got here in 2014, and within a week, I had a job. So worked at that,
Awesome.
then I retired. And same thing happened on YouTube. Won't say what the channel was, but
Well,
that particular YouTuber forced his opinion on him, and I had a different opinion, and it wasn't anything nasty, but unfortunately, he decided to. We were non-people anymore, both my wife and I.
oh,
It was sad, but it is
that is
what it is.
sad. My screen is froze up. Can you all still hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, your
Okay.
screen's moving.
It is? Oh, oh,
Hmm.
that's good. Thank you. I don't know
Crystal.
what to do. Uh, was, and I don't want to get too personal, but uh, it- what brought it up in my mind was the political climate that we're in this week, or this month actually, because of, um, I lost a Facebook friend who labeled me evil, said she wished she had never met me over 40 years ago. And I've lost people that called themselves my friends before. I've lost plenty of friends, not meaning to, but it just happens. But it shocked me coming from her. Number one, because she claims to be a Christian, and I didn't feel like I knew her when we were kids, and I knew that she didn't always act this way. And I felt like she was a victim of media. She had just been told what to believe rather than basing it on her own opinions or research. And then um, assumed something about me that just wasn't true at all. But in her mind, it was. She had established in her mind that I had voted a certain way, and it was nothing but an assumption. It was not based in fact at all. It was based in her opinion of a post I wrote saying, congratulations if your candidate won, and we're thinking of praying for you if your candidate lost. And I would have said the same thing no matter who the president elect would be, or president, as it were. But I was just mourning with those who mourn and rejoicing with those who rejoice. And I feel like that's a humane thing to do. But man, I uh, I got deleted, and she was all very public about it. So I felt like it was her loss because I'm actually a very good friend. I make for good people, you know. That's not. I mean, you can't grow love.
I was getting ready to say, well, it's her loss because you're a good person.
And you know, there's
Yeah,
a
no, I
story.
mean, I've had a couple people do the same thing, delete me and block me. And it sucks. But you just have to remember, like, you're worth more than them or their time, I guess. Um, like I said, it sucks. I don't want to lose friends. I don't have any animosity towards anybody. I know people are vindictive towards me right now, and that's fine if that's their prerogative. Whatever. I'm not a bad person. I know that. Um, it's taken me a while to know that, but I know it. So I mean, whatever issues they have, sorry you're wasting your time because it doesn't affect me. I'm moving on. It's one of those things you just kind of have to do it. Like I said, it sucks, but you're a good person, and just like me, I know I'm a good person. Um, so it's their loss, just like it's your friend's loss. Maybe one day they'll come around, maybe not, but God puts people in our lives for a reason, for a certain amount of time. We have to be grateful for the ones that are there for the long run, and we have to be grateful for the ones that aren't because they leave footprints, and those footprints are important. They teach us lessons, and those lessons are the ones that God wants us to learn. Um, I mean, some of them. I mean, with some of the ones that I've learned recently, it's even though I need to learn to open up and trust people a little bit more, and even though I'm was trusting and let people in, and certain people have bailed on me, um it's one of those things. It's like, okay, what can I learn from this? What did God want me to learn from this? Okay, the way I'm taking it is it was a test. It was a test on, am I going to turn from him or not? Like, am I going to a lot of my life has been trying to lean on God and being tested that strength over and over and over again. And it's just, I feel that that's just another one of his tests. And that's where you got to look at it. It's people come in our lives, they leave footprints. How much footprints they leave, that's on, that's on you, on how you want to perceive it.
Yeah.
Um, you just have to just come out of it knowing that you're a good person. You did the best you can. You did what God wanted you to do, and the rest you just have to leave it in His hands. So,
I agree, and I'm glad to hear you say that because some people are in our lives just as scaffolding. They they're not going to make up the building of our lives, but they might be there just for a season. I've talked about that on my channel several times about seasons. And there are
yeah,
some people who are only designed to be scaffolding in our lives until we get the structure built, and they may disappear and we never see them again. And I'm going to talk about that scaffolding one of these days on my weekday chats, and then also noticing versus focusing. There's nothing wrong with noticing differences. If someone's a Republican and someone's a Democrat, it's okay to notice that. But focusing on it, normally, human nature being what it is, it's normally a negative thing. Papa Moses, hello, Heather, and Papa Moses. Yeah, I'm sorry,
hi John,
trying to get
or
caught up on these.
Nancy, or both.
Oh, looky here, we've got Larry from British Columbia. Larry, welcome,
Hey
my brother.
Larry.
Very good to have you. We're talking about cancel culture, and Heather and Rich have both. Richard has both been articulating some things that happened in their lives. Rich said he lost a job at one point because he was judged a certain way, and the opinion that he had shared ended up costing him his job. And I think I hate when that happens because if we could celebrate our differences and say, "Oh, I didn't know that. Well, it's interesting to find that out about you." We can learn so much more, and we could all become better. Rich, were you going to say something?
Yeah, just like you said, Papa. It's like, and Heather, you're right. God put you on this earth. The day you were born, He had a plan for you, and you follow
Hmm.
that plan no matter what. We've been through some tough times, and I just said I can't control it. I put it in God's hands, and it worked out. So you can't. That was His plan. I mean, even when I lost my job, I just sat back and said, "Hey, it's God's will. What's going to happen? He's going to grace us, and He's going to show us where we're going to go." And you know, I just kind of gave up worrying about a lot of stuff, and it's like that's His plan. And even my very best friend, because Papa, tell me if you're wrong or not. You can probably count your true friends on one hand.
Yeah.
And my best friend, we've known each other for. I'm 68 years old. We've known each other for 67 years, and he
Wow.
went. Yeah, he's been through some tough times. He's a chaplain at a VA hospital, in Beckley, West Virginia. I mean, here's a case where a guy, he's a man of God. He had an aortic dissection. His
Yeah.
heart was falling apart.
Mm.
10% survival chance. I knew something was wrong when I read it on Facebook. There was something, I could sense it. And, he's still with us. And, I told him, I said, God had a plan for you. And it wasn't time yet. And he's still with us today yet. And let's see, his birthday's in 6 days. We don't talk that often. We try to call each other, about once a month and just chat. But, he's helped me through some tough times, just giving me some spirituality and get me through, I went through a divorce. That was tough. And I just felt it was my fault. And he said, no, it wasn't your fault. And I've listened to his guidance all these years. And Mark is just such a wonderful guy. And I tell you what, getting older now, you lose a friend like that, it's going to hurt.
Yes. Yes. It's very difficult. I always focus so much on the aspect of Christians should act a certain way. I don't necessarily. We're Pentecostal, which some people call us wild children of God, but it doesn't really matter to me what someone's denomination is. But I focus on Christianity because Christians claim to be like Christ, and I don't see anywhere in secular history or biblical history where Christ was hateful. He got angry. In fact, he threw crap around in the temple when he got pissed off at the local church people that day. But you never saw him hating on people. Every time you see him interacting with, like, the hooker that the Sanhedrin brought to him and said, well, she was taken into adultery. And I thought, well, okay, Jesus did the right thing. He forgave her. He said, let anybody who's without sin, you can cast the first stone. Well, he was very smart that way. Instead of saying, oh my God, you're nothing but a flaming whore, you're going to hell, and you and everybody you know and love. I mean, sometimes I think we're such victims of polluted polluted thinking, but brought on a lot by the media. I have no love for the media because I feel like my family's been in politics for 100 years, and I feel like I know firsthand um, things where the media has just tried to destroy. And my late sister, who died a few years ago, she was practically demonized um, by the media in my hometown. Dewey saying hi to. Um, so I do, and whoever said life is too short, that was you, wasn't it, Heather?
It was me.
Yeah. Whoever said that is nothing truer ever been said. Very, very true. Um, I am so wanting this phone to do better. It's disobedient. That's all I'm telling you. The phone is disobedient.
We see you just fine. Like I have you obviously in front of me live, and then I also have you on my computer screen, and it's moving in sync. It's doing
Okay.
fine.
Well, good. I like to see people's facial expression.
Yeah, we
I
can
saw
tell every time you turn it.
and that's what you get for having tech idiots for friends. I don't I don't know. I admire you guys for all your work on your channels. Oh, I watched your other day 6 of your um,
Oh,
bonnet creek bonnet creek.
Bonnet Creek. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
place is so amazing.
it looks
So pretty.
beautiful.
It's so pretty. My favorite
I
part is the fish.
I love this. I love this, Larry. That's a scripture, but it's also a way of life. God is love, and man, remember back in the '60s, Rich um, and Larry, what the world needs now
Yeah.
is love, sweet love.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that there's just too little love. I
Yeah.
love
And,
that song.
and like you said,
Unfortunately,
Papa,
that's true.
and it's true. And even caring. I mean, my mom was a nurse. She was an RN. My mother was a very caring person until the day she died. She instilled that in me. Even when I worked, I was a manager. I mean, I had lots of people underneath me. I cared about my people. Sometimes I got in trouble. I took the beating rather than let my people take it. And I just cared about, when I left the job and the people got together, got me a nice little gift and said, Richie, we'll work anywhere, anytime with you. That's the kind of impression I want to leave. When my dad died, my mother got letters, phone calls that they remembered my mother from 50 years earlier when she worked in the hospital. I
Wow.
mean, even and then when my mom passed away, I had people, send me emails, made a comment on the obituary. It's we just loved your mother. She worked at the dispensary at Mack Trucks as a nurse in their world headquarters, and it was just like I had so many people reach out and they said, this hurts. We really loved your mother, and I mean, I took after my mother. I mean,
Good.
I don't like hurting people, and like you said, this cancel. I don't like. Oh, how do I want to say it? I don't like, and I hate saying it because some of these YouTube pages. I just hate saying it. This is my opinion. You're not entitled to one, and that's it. You don't like my opinion, then don't follow my page. Uh, I don't know.
Have
Yeah.
Uh,
you
And
experienced, Richard or Heather or anyone else in the chat? Have you experienced um, people totally dismissing you, like you're talking about on the YouTube channels? And uh, I had somebody, one of the groups on here oh, here those dogs howling. Oh my goodness, that's those insane dogs. Um, no, 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 nine, nine. Oh. But I had somebody. I went on a live show here a few months ago, and the couple said, "Oh, Papa Mozo's here. Papa Mozo's here." I'm, to the best of my knowledge, I never, um, and I'm sure they meant it as a joke, but they said, "We heard that Papa Mozo hated us," and I said, "What?"
I don't know if you're capable of hate.
no.
Well, I mean, I feel like love and hatred is a choice. I don't. I mean, I make a conscious effort to love people even if they don't want to be loved, because I'm going to have to answer. I'll have to stand before God one day, and I'm going to be judged on how I treat other people, not by how they treat or mistreat me. Uh, I
So
wish that
true.
could
So
come
true.
into effect, but it won't on Judgment Day. It'll just be, us will be judged by a righteous God who loves us, sent His only Son to die for us, that type of thing. However, I'm I'm going to be judged on how I treat them, not by how they treat me. And
Do unto others what you have them do unto you.
I just don't want to spend my life feeling like a victim. And I refuse to. I've had terrible things. I've died twice. And I mean, officially died. I had to have my heart rebuilt once, and they lost me for about 15 minutes. And it was touch and go. And then last year, about a year ago, I died. I was already blue and cold when they found me, and mommy breathed the breath of life back into me, thanks to God. And life's just too short. I'm going to talk about that. Life's too short. I think I've got that coming up either this week or next week. I can't remember. I write down what I'm going to do for topic each day. I just don't. I can't spend any time hating or. But I truly do want to know what people feel and what people think. I don't want to stick my foot in my mouth. I can do that quite easily, and I just don't want to wreck my own
Sarah's
credibility.
Sarah's got a good point. She says, I think some people act like victims when in fact they're the ones that create the drama. I think that's very true.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I see it now. I
Yeah.
think some people act like victims. Yeah, they're the ones that create the drama. Yeah.
Some people live for the drama. And like I said earlier, that's them. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. I don't have time for it. Um, I think that's the way you gotta live. You just gotta, like I said, people will come in, some people will leave. You know. but that statement's very true. A lot of people will just create it, like you were mentioning earlier. They try to talk bad, like they're the victim, just so that they can get your sympathy, and it's wrong. It goes along with what you were saying earlier.
When I ask people's opinion, I really want to know it. And
Hmm.
I will say that Facebook, um, and I've had people warn me against Facebook. Oh, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. And I know there's drama. I don't accept Facebook as media myself. It's social media, but I've
Hmm.
never accepted. Facebook for me was always just something fun, a way to meet other people. Dewey says my management style was also like that as well, do unto others. When my boss would criticize, I simply told him I still had to respect the person I see in the mirror each morning. A wonderful word of wisdom, Dewey. Wonderful word of wisdom. You gotta face yourself in the morning, and I hope I can do it with a clean heart and with the right motive. Um, Motive always seemed to bother Jesus in my study of Jesus anyway. Motive always and intent. That always seemed to bother him more than the actual action itself. He always wanted people, he didn't judge by the law, he judged by grace. The law was given and he didn't negate the law, but he fulfilled it by bringing grace, for the future for all of us. And I'm thinking, looky who's here. We got another friend. Oh, come on. Daniel, I'm fighting my phone. We're having a disagreement. Uh, Daniel Fields is here. We're glad to have you, Daniel. What is the? I'm sorry about the dogs. And you guys hear the dogs howling, and they're downstairs and they're howling because their mama left. Daniel. Let me get back up here. Hello, all. Blaine's back. Had to go help his mother-in-law. Well, you're a good man just for that, Blaine. Dewey saying hi to Blaine. Working with homeless at a Salvation Army shelter for over 7 years. I heard all the drama. This is how I learned about empathy. Excellent point, Larry. Excellent point. I used to work with one of the ARCs uh, here in Waukegan. They built a brand new ARC here about 12 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, 2000, 2006. Oh no, it's been 14 years ago, yes. And man, no shortage of drama there. Uh, who's that? Who's Cruisers? I'm a cancer survivor, so am I, accused. And I feel like I was given a second chance in life. I refuse to waste that time on drama and negativity. You'll be happy to know, friends, I've got one coming out next week talking about a little bit of dying. Some people just need a little bit of dying to make them re-examine their lives. Um, I know the first time I had a heart attack, I was 29 years old and had a massive heart attack. Um, I never dreamed a 29-year-old, I should have known because I weighed 400 pounds at that time. But after that, I thought, man, here I'm supposed to be a minister over a large church. And I'm supposed to be around. I'm supposed to do this, that, and the other. And it's time for me to reorganize and reallocate my priorities. And I did. I did exactly what Sarah is talking about here. I refuse to waste that time on drama and negativity. Someone will always bring you drama and negativity. There is no shortage of it. So
Hmm.
I totally agree with you. Who else we got here? Daniel Fields saying hi to everybody. Those of you don't know Daniel and Nancy Fields, they
Well,
live in the Simi Valley area.
hey, I'm going to ask
Sweet
you two a
Susie.
question, and Heather, it would probably affect you more. I mean, what do you feel right now about these people losing their minds over that they don't cruise? Why?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that, Richard, because I I'm not a big cruise person. I'm doing these cruises for mommy because she loves to do it. Um, I will enjoy meeting people. That's my thing. But I wondered the same thing, Richard. Um, and Heather's the travel agent among us.
Well,
Heather, what?
I'm not.
so's my
I'm not.
wife too.
Oh,
I'm not a travel agent.
My wife is though, but
oh,
it's
I'm
like,
sorry. Maybe
but
I assumed.
no, my wife works for the same agency that Jenny Barnett does. She actually works with Jenny, so
Oh,
out
that's
Okay.
of
so
Tampa.
cool.
Oh,
So, but
wow.
anyway,
Jenny's
make a long
pretty
story
awesome.
short, it's like we sit back and go, it's gonna go when it's gonna go. And we work at the Port of Tampa. We did work there. We don't know if we're gonna even go back. I mean, but it's like, oh God, if we don't cruise soon, I'm gonna jump off the. It's crazy. And Heather, you've seen it. Chris Barnett on that Royal Volunteer page or whatever it is. He had me laughing all day yesterday because people have absolutely gone crazy. That made my day. I mean, it was like
I
the.
think a lot of it is I think especially during COVID, I think a lot of people are just feeling really trapped. And I deal with a lot of anxiety. So like I can say like I've felt that. Um but to them it might be their only like real sense of like joy or real sense of escape. And when people say they can't do it, it's like it's like a teenager when you tell them you're not allowed to see that person, and it only makes them want to do it more. So I think it's kind of like that. It's their thrill. And I love to cruise, but I have other hobbies too. So I mean, there's amusement parks. There's Disney, but even when Disney was closed, just getting time to spend with the family, we found new ways of playing games with the kids, or just random things, just trying to make it more of a bonding experience versus uh, an uh, an enclosed event per se. But for some people it's that's their only out. So I can see both sides to that. I mean, I didn't go and start volunteering for the first cruise because I don't want to be the first cruise.
Oh,
um
that page is so funny. I mean, people are. It's just you
yeah.
got you got to laugh. And I mean, Chris just kept adding fuel to the fire. And I mean, I just kept laughing. I even got him on Life is Good today and said, Chris, keep it up. You're doing a great job. Uh,
Mhm.
it's really funny.
Larry said, I thought you joined just to see me, Palomogo. Hey, Blaine has a real good point right here. Let me get it up here. There we go. I'm a huge cruiser and creator, obviously, but it's because people have their priorities mixed up. People care more about cruising than their family. There's more to
Yeah.
life. I have enjoyed being with some wife. Absolutely.
And that's exactly what it's that's their thing. But like I said, we just use it as a more of a bonding thing with the family. Um and Blaine has it right. You just got to learn to, I guess, kind of figure out you know your priorities. And some people just don't know them, I guess.
I think I want to back up to something Sarah said. It's okay. They do try to bring drama, but I remove them from my life. Some people, it is almost impossible to get rid of them because they'll chase you down with drama. Um,
Mhm.
those are the people that you probably won't be able to be capital F friends with, but you might be able, like FBF, Facebook friends, because I have a load of FBF, Facebook friends, that some of them I've never even met in person. Now, we've traveled for many years in our lives, preaching and singing, and we know people all over the country. So there's no shortage of small f friends or FBF Facebook friends. But I think it was you, Richard, was asking about how many true friends, and that's what I would call all caps friends. Those are people that have capital F, capital R, capital I, so on and so forth. Those I can count on probably three fingers, and that is somebody that has complete and local access to any part of my life they want to know. And there's just not, I said three, now there's two. One died. So um, I am careful, and part of that is because of the career that I've been in. I have to be pretty selective what I tell or what I ask, because um, I go to my grave with a million secrets, because of confidentiality and things like that. So some questions I already know the answer to. I don't even ask. What is this here? Okay, hold on. Over one. Oh, Larry is talking about. Larry, is this about the Royal? Hold on.
Yeah, they had over 100,000 people sign up, and then like
Wow.
I'm sure Heather's been seeing it. I don't know if she subscribed to that page, but oh my God, I'm platinum, I'm royal, I'm diamond, I'm a travel
Yeah.
agent. One of the YouTubers actually said, "Oh, we're travel agents. They're probably going to pick us," which I had to laugh. I mean, it's like, you got to understand. I mean, they're all going to be simulated cruises. We might have to go back to work at the port as part of that test cruise when they come to Tampa to how we have to put people on the ship, how they behave, how we got to get them off. There's just all this. Oh, we're going to go in January. I know we're going to go. There is just the logistics of it. You just don't understand what it takes. When we wound up working there and see what it takes. Then that ship gets in at 7 o'clock. And Heather, you sail out of Tampa probably, but that thing gets in at
Hmm.
7 o'clock. 4 o'clock, you're hauling butt out of there. It takes a lot of work ahead
And
of time.
it takes a lot of work pre-COVID. So just to
Yeah,
imagine
absolutely.
post-COVID,
Yeah, I mean,
it's gonna be a madhouse. I mean, they're gonna have to like rush that ship back in. They're gonna have to get it unloaded quicker. They're gonna have to get it reloaded quicker,
what they
just
was
to space out the time. And it's
what
not gonna take off at 4 o'clock like everybody's
no
hoping.
what
It's
they
gonna
were.
take off at like 6 or 7.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
said
and
one place it might go the next day, not necessarily in
exactly.
Tampa, because like you said, you brought up a good point. Heather, Dwight, hey, good morning. Oh, your check-in time's at 12:30. It's ten
Hmm.
o'clock. Heather, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to come back at 12:30.
Yep, you gotta
Then
go.
Heather goes ballistic. What do you mean? I can't. That's
I
what
just wasted
we're.
20 minutes of your time. Yep.
I am
Yeah.
so afraid that that's going to be. Have you all seen these Karen videos?
Oh yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid that people that work at ports and stuff, especially American, because Americans
Oh,
all feel so entitled. Um, I'm afraid. I'm afraid for people like you and anybody that has to deal with the traveling public because
we
they
had
are. Some of them are losing their mind over this stuff, and when they are finally able to travel, I don't. That's why I would
A
rather
lot of
wait.
people a lot of people think, "Oh, 2021, this is just going to miraculously disappear. Everything's going to go back to it." It's going to be like it's
Yeah.
I called it in the beginning. We're not going to cruise the rest of the year. I called it cuz I knew how this is going to play out. Um cruising is not going to be semi even like under controlled until good March. You're talking about fluency that's going to take another year just to figure out.
Yeah, and I agree, Heather. I mean, we're saying, it's. I told Pam, I said, I said we're even telling people we don't want to book right, and we don't want to book you right now because we don't feel comfortable. And she's being honest about it. She said I just
Hmm.
don't feel comfortable right now. She's got the only cruise we got booked next year because we lost 6 this year. Was she's got the Enchanted Princess all the way next December? But like you said, oh, when we cruised the last time, I don't want to hear that at the port because they're gonna have to what we're talking about, and we don't know yet is they're gonna have to have more security because I'm sure there's going to be fights out there and arguments
Hmm.
Absolutely.
and
You are right. You're right.
we have to we're taught to be, oh Heather, thank you, welcome to the brilliance of the seas, could I see your paperwork? It's like people, and pardon my French, people were
Bye, Sarah.
a-holes sometimes
Sure.
before COVID. I
Yeah.
mean,
Hmm.
and it's like,
Imagine trying to get them on
uh,
post COVID. And that's the thing a lot of people are forgetting. It's
Yeah.
not going to be the same. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, so what's different? Okay, they're going to check our temperature. No, there's going to be so much difference now that, I mean, they're going to do the testing. They're going to be checking your temperature. They're going to be asking you all these questions. They got to keep you guys separated. There's going to be so much more social distancing. There's so many more things that have to be put into
yeah,
play
because people are,
with so many more people.
yeah,
Like it's not just like these test cruises that's only like 10%, 15%, 25%. You're talking about by the end of the year you want to get a boat of like a full shipload of people on there. I was gonna say a boatload, but then I figured I'll switch up for Tyler. Like you
Bye,
really want to get
people.
like all that whole cruise, like, still, you're talking more massive. To get any type of fluency, it's going to take another year. A lot of people say, oh, it's going to take 30 days to get this ship going. It's going to take 60 days to get that ship going. No, it's going to take us a lot longer than people realize. You're not talking about, like, you're going to find out what the new normal is by the end of next year, because
Yeah,
that's the way it's
and I
going to
agree
be.
because, like you said, this is going to be a slow once it resumes, when it resumes, because people are like, oh yeah, January. I know I was watching one YouTube channel, and they're a pretty big channel. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to be going January. Oh yeah, we're going to be going February, March. Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't think so. I don't think they're there yet. I really don't.
There's a
I
lot
mean,
of
Like I said, they're not.
people.
It's going to take until about March to be able to figure out what works, and then from that point to the end of the year is getting it going, like keeping it, keeping the rhythm, keeping it fluent, getting it better and perfecting. It's going to take them until a good March, I think, to figure out that niche, because right now they've got, one ship going here, two ships going there, one ship way over there that's working, that their country's done a whole lockdown completely different than from what we've done. So I think a lot of it is figuring out what works here, and it's going to take a lot of trial and
yeah,
error, and
and
it's going
that's
to
what a
take
lot
a
of
while.
people. Oh, look what's because this one. Oh, look what's happening in Europe. They're doing this. They're doing that. That's Europe, like you said, and I
Well,
totally
I mean, if you take,
200% agree with you.
right now, England is back in lockdown, okay,
Yep.
Yep.
because they had just a couple cases. They
Yeah.
went back into lockdown. We just went up to a couple 100,000, and we're still sitting here like,
Yeah.
okay,
Government
completely
Blaine,
open.
says, oh, don't
So
worry.
Blaine
you look
says,
at how different things are, and I mean, like, New Zealand and Australia, those places have had zero. They had to have zero for like a good week before they even allowed them within 20, kilometers of their house. I mean, they still can't even, go interstates. So depending on how, I mean, what works there is not always going to work here, because they
Absolutely.
locked down completely
see
different than
what
we did.
Blaine
So
said
we
on
have to
here. He
find
said,
our niche.
I'm afraid cruising is going to be so different. I hope some make it. Carnival spends millions right now not
And
cruising, so
that's
they can't sustain
that's
long-term
so
loss of
true
no
too.
cruising.
Cruising is going to be different, and a lot of people think, oh, I'll get on a cruise ship, it'll be partying, and we'll be able to. It's not going to be like that. I mean, you go to a resort right now, and it's completely different. Just think, on a smaller area than a resort, more enclosed, things are going to be so different. Blaine has that on point. It's not going to be
Yep.
the same.
Blaine,
And
I think that this virus, once I can't see anything big happening until they get some type of an effective vaccine. Because I, I mean, I think people might have to present papers, to say, well, I'm certified, I've had my shot, take my temperature, go on. But I don't think it's going to happen without some kind of a vaccine. And I don't know how this comes from a friend of mine in the CDC who told me in March that the CDC was not going to sail in the year of 2020. The CDC wasn't going to sanction it. Now he has no interest in cruise lines and all that. This is a guy that's way up there in the CDC, and he was just giving me a heads up because I had a March Celebrity Summit. Celebrity was booked. We were booked that one, and then it didn't go. Then in May, we rescheduled for May. It didn't go. We rescheduled for July 4th on Royal. It didn't go. So I had Celebrity, and then Carnival, and then Royal, and then Norwegian, and now I've got the Panorama for this coming February, but there's no way I can see that
I
happening.
just don't think it's going to go, Pop. I really don't. I don't want to
well,
be a
and
naysayer and Debbie Downer, but
No, I don't take
and
it that
and
way at
then
all.
and then another thing people have to remember is, I guarantee you they're not going to be doing any interior rooms,
yeah.
because there were a lot of issues with people being quarantined in interior rooms. Um, so I think that it's going to be, for a little while, balcony only. You know,
I think that's
something.
a good thing, don't you?
I agree. I 100% agree. But a
Because
lot of
God
people don't
forbid,
don't think about that aspect.
God
But
forbid
is the
that
cruise, if, and Heather, I'm going to ask you a question, is the cruise line going to adjust their cost if that you have to take a balcony room, or are they still going to charge?
I don't think they will, and here's why. I think that it's going to be a supply and demand. I
Yeah,
think people are going to go to a point of I need to cruise.
I'll
I
pay.
don't
I'll
care
pay.
what costs.
Yeah, yeah,
And I mean, they've lost a lot of money as is. So do I think they're going to negotiate on that price? I really don't. It's
yeah.
a supply and demand, and the
Because
demand's out there.
like you said, and everybody was focusing. It's like what's happening on board the ship. And I was sitting back and said, "My God, what are we going to do at the port? What are we going to do getting people on? What are we going to do now? You guys
And people
cruised.
don't think that. They don't think, okay, this is going to take longer. I'm going to have to be more prepared. I'm going to have to think of it this way and that way and a lot. They just think I just got to get on a ship. That's a party time. It's going to
Yeah,
be the
yeah,
same. Hoorah. I might have to, wear a mask, but they don't think about everything else, you
yeah.
Was
know?
it
Because how
was
many?
it Heather and Richard both? Wasn't it June or July when not just Carnival but all the cruises started expatriating all the people back
Yeah,
to their homeland?
yeah. We had
When
people
that
on the
happened, I thought, well, man, they're not going to do that just for a 1 or 2 month break. If they're
Papa.
going,
We had people. We sailed on the last cruise out of Tampa on the Paradise. We had friends that they finally. Some were going back to the Philippines. Some were going back to India. The Filipino people made it in early July. The people from India made it back in June. They were on that boat since March 19th. Now they got shuffled to other ships, but they were
wow,
at sea that long. But like Heather bring up a good point, you know, nobody got sick on that ship, and they had some protocols in place. Can it be done? Yes, it can. It can be done. Even though we had minimal, like you said, at the port, it's going to be a little different. Now, getting off the ship, and you've probably experienced it. You got your luggage tags up. You want to go. How many times do people jam up the halls, jam up the stairways, jam? That's. I said to Pam, I said, is that going to happen again? I mean, they got to enforce it. It's like when, hey, Heather, they got to do something getting off the ship also. We can control getting on. We can control you, Heather. Okay, you're good to go. It's still third, but now getting off is a different story. Because it's
Mhm.
we've cruised enough that it's like usually when you get off the ship, it's every man for himself.
Yeah.
you see what
Because I
Blaine
mean,
put on here about the
right now they
prices?
have it. Sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Right now they have it as they give you your luggage tags. You're supposed to depart at a certain time, but how many people actually follow that?
They don't.
They
They
don't.
don't.
I know that we do the early off, so we're out by like 7 usually. So
Oh my
my luggage
goodness.
tag sometimes will say 8, 9, 10. So it really just depends. Are they going to enforce that? And that's the other thing that people don't think. Like you're gonna have to stick strictly on what they're telling you to do. If they give you a tag that says 9, it's 9. It's not 8:30. It's not 8:45. It's not 9:30. It's 9. How many people are going to be able to follow that?
Yep.
And how are
And
they going
then
to be able to control that?
yeah, same goes getting off the ship. Customs is another thing. I mean,
Yeah, customs is another
because
thing.
Oh
some people don't understand is
boy.
Norwegian. Is it Norwegian? One of the some cruise lines are cheap. I mean, they only want to pay for like here in Tampa. Norwegian only wants to pay for 3 guys. Carnival has like 5 or 6. Royal has a couple more. They
Hold
only want
on.
to pay
Three
for
guys, three guys for what, Rick?
for customs. The cruise lines pay for that. That's not a
Oh, I
free
thought that was the
service.
government thing. Okay.
It's a
Okay.
government thing, but they pay for it.
They contract that out?
It's no, they
Is it like
actually
the,
have to pay for those customs guys to be
yeah.
there.
So it's kind of like the TSA or something like that,
Yeah, more or less,
where it's
but
government, but it's also its own. I
yeah,
see what you're
but
saying.
they still have to pay. That's kind of like that.
Now, we were talking a minute ago. I want to go back to a comment that Blaine made. I wanted everybody to see this if they didn't. Prices in 2022, we will see increase. Not so much next year, but I see increased prices in 22. I have been told that, Blaine, by a business
Yeah,
analyst friend of mine. He works out of New York. and they actually have a
And,
branch in
and
Chicago.
Pam brought up a good point. They
Who?
Oh yeah.
have to pay because the boat isn't registered in the U.S. If it was a U.S. boat, they don't have to pay the Pride of America because that's U.S. flagged. That's a
Oh,
freebie. But since the boats are flagged in a different country, the cruise lines have to pay the U.S. government, the customs. They have to pay for those services.
Yeah. See, okay, Blaine has that, I think, right. I think he has, right. I mean, because you have to think of they've lost a whole year of revenue.
yes.
They have to make that up somehow. How are they going to do that? Charge people who really want to cruise.
Yeah,
So,
because
That's
like
why my
and
buddy
like
in New
Blaine
York
said,
City, it was the same
2021, they're
thing.
still trying to figure things out. They're still going to have
yeah,
a lot of, cancellations and
yeah, yeah,
delays and things like that. And so, like Blaine says, I don't think 2021 is going to be increased,
because
but I think seeing 2022 and so on, I do see it increasing.
Pam was
I think
on.
Blaine's
We
pretty
had
on point with that.
She had like five couples cancel for Alaska for this
Hmm.
year, and the girl she was talking to on Princess Cruise Lines, and she said prices are going to go up. We're getting a price increase in a couple of days, and then a couple more days down the road, it's going to go up. And she said they're really going to go up. So the days of I got a cruise for $189 for black, those are over with.
Oh yeah,
You want to
that's over for a
go?
long time.
You
Well,
want to
see,
go?
you
You're
brought
going
up
to pay.
another thing that we can touch on is the trips to Alaska. Because of maritime law, we cannot do a cruise nowhere, or we have to hit another country.
Yeah.
I
Canada's
thought
shut
they were
down.
trying,
How
Heather,
long?
weren't they trying to do something about what you're talking about? Weren't they
They've been
trying to?
trying to do the maritime law. They've been trying to do something
Yeah,
with that, but it's been put into place for a reason.
the
Um,
Jones. I think Tony said it's called
the
the Jones
Jones
Act.
the Jones Act, yeah.
It's the Jones Act, and then there's the Passenger Vessel Services Act.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
and it's basically it's not as much the Jones. That's a cabotage law because I studied it too, and what it was is, and it's so old, but it was like it was to kind of support our shipbuilding industry because we did have a huge shipbuilding industry at one time. What happened was cruise lines, why they flagged over there. You see them built in China and Korea, France, Germany, Norway. We don't have any shipbuilding here anymore.
Good
Yeah.
advice. Good advice, Blaine. Thank you. Uh, hey, Rich, we've got Larry wanting to know which channel Rich and Pam are from. Tell Rich
It,
who you're. Can you put your
it's
link? I have no idea how to put a link in here.
I can, or it's Vacation Adventures with Pam and Rich. Just check it out on Facebook and or YouTube.
Some adventures with Pam and
We'll
Rich.
stream
Okay.
one of these days, Heather. I'm just trying to. I keep talking to Hani about I want to stream. But we'll get there.
you'll get
Uh,
Richard
there
says, I mean, not
eventually.
Richard, excuse me,
Yeah.
Larry, not Richard. We have 2 cruises booked in 2022. Not too worried about prices for myself. Yeah, I've got 2 cruises that were given to me. Well, I was actually given a dollar amount, and they wanted us to take a cruise for our retirement, and they gave us way more money than we needed. So I said, "Is this a dollar amount that you're wanting to give?" He said, "Yeah, but I just want you to use it for cruising, only for cruising for you and your wife." Wow. Okay. So for me, it was enough to get like a plain old balcony cabin for mommy and myself, and I turned it into 2 cruises. So we've got one now scheduled for that big bash on January of 23,
23. Hmm.
and then what I'm looking for at this point, if Panorama does cancel, I have a feeling I want to go out of Chicago in the winter, like December or January. Or maybe even February. It's really nice to get out of bitter cold and go into 90 degrees and soak it up, because winter seems like it takes forever. So I'm looking at January. I know there's 2. Heather, you got one, and I think um, there's another
Oh
group
gosh.
that got one like the
Let's
month.
see. TJ's got one in
TJ, that was the other one now.
No, June. June? I
TJ's
think it's
is
June.
It's
wait,
I think
June.
who?
it's I think his is in June.
Oh, is
Midlife
it
has one
Brad?
in September,
Who?
and we
That's
have one in October.
who's in September?
September is Midlife. Midlife Crazy.
Midlife. Midlife. Okay, yeah.
Um, and
They've asked
then
me to go. You asked me to go. I was so glad I could. I know everybody, that you named and stuff, but I wish I found out about 2 weeks earlier. But it is what it is. I don't like
I just, I
cruising.
just, I just want to cruise with you. I don't care when or where or how. I think cruising with you would be fun. I think just hanging out with you would be fun. So, it
Well,
doesn't
I
have to
love
be
to
like a
laugh.
cruise. I'm
I
just,
love to laugh.
just book a cruise with me. I like to laugh, obviously.
Oh man, life's too short not to laugh. What's this say? Just press the red button. Oh, okay. Did you get that, Rich?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Blaine. Goodbye, buddy. God bless you, my brother. Take good care of yourself. Love to Mallory.
Bye, Blaine.
Uh, we have two cruises. Oh, I read that one.
Yeah,
Press
we
the red
just like I
button.
was telling, we lost 6 cruises, and I said, well, I'm not going to be in a rush to book, you know. And I told Pam, we're looking at 2022, but the ship's not done yet, so we're
I tell you,
waiting.
Mr. Dewey is he is like encyclopedia at this point.
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
one scheduled for practically every month for the next 20 years.
yeah. But well,
Man,
Dewey
he's on
said,
top of it.
and I commend Dewey for doing that. God love him. He lost his wife, and guys, if you can travel, do it. Just like Papa,
You're
you had
right
a
there.
heart attack at 29. My parents went all over the world. They went to Hawaii 31 times.
Oh my goodness.
They loved it. They regret that they didn't buy a condo there, but they go for once my dad retired, once my mom and dad retired, but they went 31 times over there. They went all over Europe. I mean, what did my mom and dad tell me? They said, "You're not getting anything. We're going to travel." And you know what? I went a couple times with them, and I had a ball and went to Europe, and I'll never regret it. Guys, if you got it, you can afford it, do it. Don't be one of
Mhm.
those woulda, coulda, shoulda.
It doesn't have to be a cruise. It doesn't
You're
have to be
right.
an all
Absolutely,
expensive,
Well, you're
absolutely.
both right.
all
Both of you
inclusive
are right.
thing. Just
Heather, you're right,
just go.
and
Take a day trip. Take a
Heather
Yeah,
day
and
trip
Rich,
somewhere.
both of you are right because it doesn't have to be a cruise. I have my fondest memories of our place up in Wisconsin Dells. We used to have a place up there. I sold it in 2015 because my health had so deteriorated. I've had 7 strokes, and I've had about 40 of the mini strokes. I've had
yeah,
close to half a dozen now, heart attacks, had gastric bypass. I had to have open heart surgery and rebuilt part of my heart. You were talking about aortic dissection, or somebody was. So you're right. Life is too short. I'm doing this because I know it means a lot to mommy. And if I feel like anybody deserves it, it's that lady because she's taken
If
care
any,
of.
see, my cat will join me even if I'm on the phone.
I know I've got this monster dog wanting in here. Sparrow, I'm in mommy's room. Let me
You
go
gotta
let
put
these
your bottom
two go
down.
in.
Nobody wants to see your butt.
No, no, I've got shorts on. Come on, come on.
No, I was talking to my cat.
Oh, I thought you were being. Don't step on the glasses.
I was talking to my cat.
Oh, you're stepping on the glasses. Oh, Sparrow.
Uh-oh.
Oh
Uh
my
oh.
Uh-oh, the dog's upside down. He's walking on the ceiling.
Oh my. Quit.
But you're right, Heather. A lot of people aren't thinking this all the way through,
They didn't
about
I
what's actually going to happen. And it's like, oh, it's going to be the same it was. It is not.
a lot
No.
of people thinking like, okay, I might have to wear a mask. Okay, I might have to social distance a little bit. It's so much more. You got to think about, are they even gonna have laundry services? You
Who
know,
knows?
and then that's the
Laundry
thing. It's
service?
like, does that mean you have to pack more? Does it mean that you're are they gonna make it to where they turn down your room, or come into your room 3 or 4 times versus twice? Is it where
Mhm.
they're gonna only go in it once? Like, um, it's just then like the leaving, and then not just leaving to get off the ship, not leaving, not just getting on, but your port.
Yeah, that's
Does that mean
another.
like if you have to have an excursion? Okay, like
Yeah,
right now you have to have an excursion booked through the cruise line. What if you don't? Then what?
yeah.
They're gonna have to. Are
Nobody
you gonna
really
pretty much?
addressed that. Yeah, you're right. And
Yeah,
it's like people, did they cut the prices on the excursions? Probably not.
no,
No.
So it's like, it's
because
like,
they have to they have to take their own commission. Now they also have to pay these people to take you on their excursions. So they can't cut the prices. And they're not going to, because they know if you want to get off that ship, you're going to pay that price. Supply and demand. And, so, okay, you're not hitting that excursion on this port. What are you going to do? Because the casinos aren't going to be open. The
what?
pools, the casinos,
Oh,
most
casino.
casinos aren't open on port because of the laws of whatever port you're at. Most of the time the pools, are limited. If they're even open at certain times, they're, there's so many things that you have to think, okay, well, if I'm on this boat, ship, sorry, Tyler, if I'm on this ship and they're at port, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't thinking about that far. They're just thinking, oh, it's not a big, not a big deal. But come that time,
It
you're at
will
your
be.
second port, and you're just
Yeah.
sitting there, and you're like, okay, now I have to, I have to go buy an excursion. And then they're going to be all up in arms about that, and it's like,
Yeah, and like you said, if it's like you, Dwight, take your kids, that's 4 or 5 people, right? And it's $50 a pop, and you got 3 ports. Now you're talking some serious coinage.
you're talking, oh yeah, and you're talking about $1,000 alone in excursions if that's the
Every
calculations you
bit
want to
of
go with
it.
it, and that includes tipping the drivers and tipping, your tour person, or tipping this person, getting this drink, getting that souvenir, because when you're on an excursion, the kids want souvenirs.
Yeah.
So you're talking about $1,000 alone in excursions. And then it's like, okay, well, what if we don't do excursions? I have a child with autism. Keeping him on that ship, it might be a little hard. I don't know. I have never had to do it. We've been able to get off and do our own thing. So at that point, it's like, okay, what do I have to do? As a parent of a special needs child, what do I need to prepare for? So it's like that brings in a whole nother thought of logic to it. So it's a lot of things that people have to really think about.
We got our friend Larry on here with us
Hi,
now.
Larry.
Hi, Rich. Hi, Heather. How's it going?
Hi, Uncle Larry.
Uncle Larry, huh?
Yes, Uncle Larry.
Uncle Larry. Okay. Hey, I can appreciate a good title. I'm Papa. You're Uncle. Hey.
There you go.
My nieces and nephews they forgot that my real name was Alan or Tony. They always called me just Uncle, and they still do. They're in their 40s now, and they don't call me Uncle Alan. I've always been Uncle.
I really like calling you Papa. Sorry.
That's fine.
You're Papa.
I've got to go.
You're our Papa.
I've got to go and do some yard work. Goodbye, Papa Mozo, Heather, and Richard. Goodbye, John. Have
care,
a good
John.
one, buddy. Have a really good one. They've got a new video out about the state of Maine. I like that series they're doing. The state of, like, what to do, and they go through the states. They did my home state of Indiana the other day, a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their latest one is Maine. I just saw it, I think today or yesterday.
I've been cleaning. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
Very interesting.
Also, can you do me a favor? Because I'm not great with the geography on the east coast of America. Indiana, what states are close to it? Just so
Indiana is
Missouri.
directly below Lake Michigan.
Okay, I know what area. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Ontario. So I got Ontario, then Michigan, Lake Michigan, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
You go due south through Michigan, and you'll run right into Indiana.
Illinois.
Yeah, I'm in Illinois, which is right next to Indiana.
Chicago.
North
Chicago.
The northern suburbs of Chicago. I live 7 miles from Wisconsin. I'm not even an hour from Nancy. And then I don't know if you guys have seen Kevin Brubaker on some of the chats, but he lives over here in Wakanda, which is 10 minutes from me.
Wow.
And I've never met him in person. Isn't that a shame? So we need to. I don't know how many. Now, Carol Rosinski is another one I've seen on here. She is in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which is like 7 miles over the Wisconsin line, on the Wisconsin side, Kenosha.
My wife follows a lady from Wisconsin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's into makeup. Unique. It's a company called Unique, and then they do these live feeds almost daily when they're doing her makeup. And so yes, that's all I know from Wisconsin. And Nancy's from Wisconsin, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I live about 32 miles from Mitchell Airport, which is Milwaukee. And believe me, it was a glorious day when Southwest started sailing out of there, and I didn't have to drive clear to the south side of Chicago to get in Midway. Much better. Mitchell is a breeze. It is so nice. And it's small, it's not like Midway or even O'Hare. O'Hare's a monster.
I must ask, you were mentioning Southwest. Up here in Canada, there used to be a reality TV show about Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you see all the goods and bads. And I've flown many times through different carriers and stuff. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on Southwest, if I may ask.
I absolutely love them. If Southwest doesn't fly there, I don't go there pretty much, because they're that good and they're that they're friendly. They're I don't know. They don't seem to take themselves too seriously. I'm not that type. Some people assume that I may be that type of person because of my career, but it's really quite the opposite.
How many people have seen those YouTube videos of the Southwest flight attendants giving the cabin, when they give the briefing? I mean, go to YouTube and oh my God, some of those are hysterical.
I have laughed
funny.
myself.
I watch them all the time.
I like that.
I will search for those on YouTube. They're so funny.
I like that one guy, and he said, "There's only one queen on this plane, and it's me."
It's me.
And they're saying this over the intercom?
Yes.
No,
I mean,
yeah,
like
Oh,
when
wow.
they're doing the safety things.
That's the way it needs to be. Relax and have fun on your
flight. Oh my God, Heather's seen it where this guy just does a wonderful routine. You will laugh through the whole thing. If you got your favorite child, put the oxygen mask on him first. Don't worry about the other one.
Promising.
Yeah.
You got to do a YouTube
I've laughed
search.
myself nearly stupid one time. I forget. I think we were going to Tampa from Buffalo. No, not Buffalo. From LaGuardia. We were going to Tampa, and I forget the guy's name, but I promise you, I nearly laughed myself into the bathroom. It was hilarious. I mean, it's better than any comedy act I've ever seen on TV. And the guys,
they take flying. They have to do it, but they don't stress
the other thing about
it.
Southwest is you never have to pay for bags, and it sounds like their prices are a little bit higher, but there are two things, especially now. Up until just recently, they have been not selling the center seat, and then you always have to consider that if you go like we've got Delta, we've got United, got everything here in Chicagoland area, and you're always going to have to pay, at least $50 to $100 if you're going to take two big bags. And Mommy said that I think it was American that was charging for a carry-on, and I thought you got to be kidding. But I've only flown less than a half a dozen times this year, so I'm not really a regular, but I love them because they don't charge for bags, and they are very, very helpful. This year is the first year I've ever had to travel with a wheelchair, and very, very challenging, but I will tell you, they were extremely accommodating. They never made me feel bad about using their help and or needing their help. And some people, they can come off that way. You know what I mean? It's just kind of the huffing and puffing. Okay. And
let's go.
Yeah, right. Are you ready? Do you need to stop and pee? I'm like, oh, no, that's okay. I'll just do it right here in your wheelchair.
I've flown a few other American Airlines down there.
Hang on a second. Keep talking. I'll be back. Mommy's on the phone. Hold on.
Okay. My favorite is Alaskan Airlines. It's only because I live on the West Coast. I've been treated so well by those guys, but there are airlines down there that's not too friendly at all. In this case, of what Papa Moshe was saying, yes, can I help you? I didn't like that, but for the most part, it's been low-cost carriers that I've had the a Frontier. That's a low
Well,
cost.
I think some of them have to do like maybe not so much the line, like the airlines. I mean, to
I
say that
suppose.
is
Yeah,
like
you're right.
to
You're right, Heather. I agree.
because I had a great time on Carnival Pride, but when I went on Carnival Paradise, I did not. Does that mean all
I hear it.
Carnival is bad?
Makes sense.
No.
Yeah.
It just means I had a bad experience that time. That doesn't mean that Paradise is always going to be bad. It just means at that time, at that point in the situation, it was bad for me.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
it's
I've experienced a lot of that kind of attitude
Yeah.
on different ones. Like, and I'm not picking on anyone, but Delta, I'm not impressed with them. I've been
No,
flying.
I'm
I've been
not
flying
either.
since 1986. I've flown many, 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 many times, and I've never sat in a middle seat or an aisle seat until I flew with Delta down in America. It made me very angry. And they sat me in the very last seat at the back, the worst seat on an airplane, in my opinion,
next to the bathroom.
next to the bathroom.
Oh, those are the best.
And I was angry. And so when you go to order your ticket, it says, what seat would you prefer? Of course, I always put window. I'm a Windows guy. I like taking the videos, all that kind of stuff. And
See, here's my thing. It's all in perception. Okay. So like, okay, yeah, it's a crappy seat, but you gotta have fun with it too. Sometimes I remember when I was younger, if we get put into the far back, if I seen somebody walking down the aisle, I knew they had to go to the bathroom. Guess who was first to pop up and hop in that bathroom? Me.
Heather, you did.
Just to have a little bit of fun. So it's just like,
I always I always
I
enjoyed
think
sleep.
about that now.
I like sleeping on the last row because it's extremely noisy. You got engine noise, and it blocks out. A lot of times, it'll block out whiny kids or
It
adults
sounds
that
like
are
that white
having.
noise.
what's that?
Yeah, have you ever heard adults that have just
Yeah.
like way crazy loud conversations? Be like, "Yeah, the last time I was in San Diego, it was so pretty," and it's like, "Oh my God,
They're in
honey,
the very first
They
row, and
can
you hear
hear
them
you
all
in
the way
New
in the
York
far back.
City. They can hear them in New York City."
Yep.
Stop.
Well,
And
couple months my wife and I both have loud voices, and we're always in the back. And yes, the people at the front can hear us.
you turn around and say, "Hey, will you shut up back there?"
It's the party in the back. It's where it
My
all
whole
happens.
family is that way.
Yeah, I had bulkhead seats at one time all the way, like Heather was saying, right up against. But the problem was they had 3 seats there, and when you book travel, and I hate saying this, but Papa, you when you're a person of size, okay. Well, I had 2 of them.
Yeah.
I couldn't get in my seat.
Hence the name.
They looked at me and said, "You're not sitting here." What? And they said, "You're not sitting here." I said, "Well, where am I going to sit?" So I just went to the stewardess and I said, "Okay." So anyway, they wound up putting me at first class. Now they wanted to change their mind and give their seat up, but
Oh,
Good
that
morning,
didn't
all
happen.
my favorite friends. Look, folks,
Good
we've
morning,
got
Sean
them
and
all the way
Lana.
from Melbourne.
Oh,
This is Down
hey.
Under Cruisers.
Down Under Cruisers, I have a question for you. If you're watching this, what is the status of cruising in Australia? We have 2 people that are supposed to be going on a Viking cruise in, I think, February, and we have not heard anything
Not
from
now.
Viking yet. I don't think it's going to go, but since you guys are over there, I'd appreciate any input.
Couple modes.
Daniel Fields is on here again. Good to have you, Sean and Ilana. Got what? Got cut. Oh, come on.
You took Heather out.
I'm trying to put this comment on here.
Richard, by the way, I'm from just north of Vancouver, British Columbia. I'm 3 hours north in Powell River, British Columbia.
I'm about 25 minutes south of Tampa, Florida.
Tampa. Oh, I haven't been down that far yet, and I can't wait.
Are you in Bradenton or Sarasota area?
No, I am actually north of.
Oh no, you're by Ruskin. You're by Ruskin.
Yeah, where the Ruskin tomatoes come from. That's where we're from. They don't hardly grow any here anymore, but for some reason, the ones that they do grow here, I'm not a big tomato eater, but oh my God,
They're
the
good.
tomatoes are so good.
No cruising until
until
March,
March.
says
Oh man. Oh well.
Sean.
Heather, poor Heather. Heather's waiting to come back in, Papamozo.
Oh, crap. I didn't see that. Let me. Okay, hang on. I'm trying to see the. Can I come back in? Well, sure you can. Wait, do I need to? Okay, let me do the invite thing again, I guess. Guests. Oh, there. Okay. I lost it.
It's all good, Papamozo.
Heather, hit the link thing again, and I. Oh God,
No cruising until March.
I am such a mutt. Oh, I'm awful with this stuff.
We'll have to get you a stream deck, and you just press buttons, Papamozo, and it goes to all that thing. You'll have fun.
Hey, here we go. There we go.
You
Heather, I'm
took me
sorry.
out.
I'm sorry. Did I
Poor
boot you
Heather.
out?
You removed me.
Oh, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I don't even know how I did
It's
that.
okay. You probably just like clicked on remove on accident. It's all good.
Welcome back, Heather.
Right.
Thanks.
Another victim of mine. That'll teach you. You got the wrong friends. Daniel Fields, how are you all? Deshaun wanting to know how Daniel is doing. I can tell you this, Daniel's having warm weather, but Australia always has warm weather too, for the most part, where they live.
I just shared something today on my Facebook about the weather. For the next 14 days, it's all rain in the 40s. I would love to be down where Daniel and Nancy is. Oh, but minus all the other stuff that's going on down there.
Yeah. It's California. I know Illinois. Here in Illinois, the city is locking down pretty hard, but it hasn't made it all the way up here yet. But I think they're kind of preparing us in the northern burbs to deal with gym closings. There's talk that they're going to take church backwards. Churches, based on your capacity, doing like 20% capacity. And I don't know what's going to happen. I know, and I think California is locking back down, or if not, they're already locked back down. Daniel, you can let us know. And I know that this was the first time in a long time where I didn't see Georgia in the darkest red. Georgia is still red, but it's not the real dark red. So that was
like Heather said, this morning I just caught something on the news or something. It's like, oh, we're not locked it down yet, so it's just business as usual. That's what I saw in our newspaper today.
Yeah.
So it's like,
For now.
We've lost. I've lost 14 people myself. In my personal life, I've lost 14 people so far to this.
Wow.
And, it bothers me when I see people saying, well, I don't need to wear a mask. I don't need to do that. It's my right. I can do what I want. And I think, well, it's your right to wear a seatbelt too. You don't have to wear a seatbelt, but you will get a ticket. And after so many of them, you will go to jail. That's just the law. I almost wish they would make it a law, but I don't know that the masks are effective enough against such a powerful virus. It's a very intelligent virus.
There was a meme on Facebook, and it had it so perfect. It had it showed pictures of like men wearing pants. Okay, so no one wearing pants, they were peeing, and one got splashed. Okay, and then it showed the one that got splashed wearing pants, the other one's still not wearing pants, and he only got splashed a little bit. And then it showed them both wearing pants, and like nobody got wet, other than obviously the one that peed himself. But it kind of it resembles the whole mask thing. It's like, if I'm sick and I cough on someone else who's not wearing a mask, then we're both sick. If I'm sick and you're wearing a mask, chances are you're not going to get it as bad, okay? Or you might not, chance, okay? But if I'm sick and I'm wearing a mask and you're not, and you're wearing a mask, we're both safe.
Well, Heather, we were talking a while ago. Our original topic was cancel culture, and man, I have seen people just militant about this mask issue, and I wear a mask
people are
because
getting beat up over it.
I know I have no immune system, and with that in mind, um, I mean, I don't want to be without a mask because I don't want to catch anything, and I'm very susceptible. Number one, and number two, if I do have something, I don't want to take a chance on infecting anyone else. So to me, it just seems like such an easy fix. And talk about cancel culture. Oh my goodness. If you tell somebody that you're pro mask, they act like you're crucifying Jesus in your front yard or something. And, it's just, to me, that's something it shouldn't be so contentious. And it's like, man, they're just looking to pick a fight. Anybody else seen this cancel culture? Either way on the mask issue. I'm not asking if you're pro or con. I'm just saying, have you noticed this cancel culture about the mask?
Well, I just she's in some YouTube groups, but this particular person, they cruise a lot, and she just said, "I'm not wearing a mask on a cruise ship. I'll wait. I am not wearing a mask. That's it. I'll wait until I don't have to wear a mask." And I mean,
Well,
that was her. She just and they cruised a lot, and she just said, "I'm not wearing a mask. I want to go back to the way it was, so I'll wait." She could be waiting a while.
We just got not an order. It's I call it an ask because that's all they're doing is asking. We now have to wear 3 layers of masks.
oh my
But
goodness.
it's
Wow.
not mandatory, but they talk as if it is mandatory. And so I want to ask you guys down there, like, is there laws stating that you have to wear them and stuff?
Well, where we're at, like Heather will tell you, like our county, Hillsborough County, we have to wear masks in businesses. It's got to be. You go down one county down from us, Manatee County, they pulled the mask ordinance, so you don't have to wear a mask.
So
Is it law though?
here,
Is what I'm asking.
No,
here,
it's
no,
county
it's
by
not.
county.
Yeah,
It's
it's not a
It's not
state law,
statewide.
but it is a county thing. Well, so Lee County is not one of those mandate masks, but the businesses in Lee County have the right to mandate masks. Therefore, Lee County itself is not a mandate, but we have a lot of our stores that are mandating the masks. So yeah, pretty much.
I wear one just to keep people from coming after me.
Well,
I have diabetes, but I wear it also just in case it does. I'm no expert. I'm not no scientist. I can't say. And again, it's coming from the internet where it can be right or wrong or whatever.
well,
So
what do
I wear one just to be safe, but also just to keep people from getting angry with me.
Sean says that the latest news here is there's a travel bubble between New Zealand and Melbourne. We've had 13 days of zero
Zero.
number of
Wow.
cases. Adelaide today has had 19. Am I reading that right? I can't see.
yeah,
This is an
19.
increase for Adelaide. Wow. And then Daniel in Simi Valley, California, down in Southern California. The town we live in here in California is likely the hub of not mask wearing people. Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
Heather brought up a good point. Now you live near Victoria, British Columbia.
Yep.
The cruise ban is up there until March. Do you think it's going to get extended?
I was asked that the other day. Canadians are kind of like on the playing always on the safe side, conservative and all, like just to protect, overprotective, I guess you would call it. But I think because there's also the economic problems going on, and everybody's trying to get back to work, which is in both countries. I think there's enough pressure that they will work within that and try to come up with a plan to make it open up. I would like to see it open up myself personally. But that's just my own personal opinion.
There's a lot of people in your area, Larry, that, well, maybe not in your area, but they want to be in your area because the Alaskan cruise market has just been destroyed,
Yep.
and so many local communities in Alaska. And then, of course, were you the one telling me that they always stop in Victoria?
Victoria is a Canadian cruise port if you're doing the Alaskan route. Yeah.
Victoria is so beautiful.
At Vancouver, sorry.
Wow. I would love to go back to Victoria. My parents used to live in Alaska when they were in the Army back in the early 50s. In fact, my sister was born there, and they named her after the Chena River
Oh, wow.
going through Fairbanks.
Heather's got her hand up, Papa.
Oh, I can't see squat.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead, Heather, honey.
Oh, that's so cute.
I have to leave. Can I join back in later if I'm off?
I am getting ready to get off here because I'm getting
Okay.
I've been on here for
Okay.
2 hours now.
But you know what,
Okay,
guys?
well, I really appreciate you having me on.
Thanks, Papa.
Thank you for coming on. I just wanted to,
This was great.
we can continue a discussion another time, but
Yeah.
you all are always welcome. If I forget to put the link on, somebody remind me in the chat and say, hey, can I come up? Because sometimes I remember and sometimes I don't. But
Will do.
I thank all of you for joining me, and thank you for
Okay.
coming up and conversing and sharing opinions.
Nice to meet you, Rich.
Nice to meet you too.
You won't find me making an enemy of my own will. If I make an enemy, it's because somebody absolutely hates me, I guess.
It's good seeing you, Papa Mojo. Good
Yeah,
seeing
you
you too,
take
Heather.
care. Heather,
Bye,
Good to
guys.
take
see you, my
care.
friends.
Bye.
God
Heather,
bless
we
you
got to
all.
get together sometime. You're right down
We
the
should.
road.
We
Yeah, you guys are
should.
neighbors.
Yeah.
All
See you
right.
guys.
Reach out.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day, Papa.
Thank you. How do I get this off here? In